Okay, now we're going to bring together supply and demand, so I hope you're as excited as I am. So, we've got our supply curve. We've talked about this upward sloping, beautiful. And we've also got our demand curve, downward sloping, also beautiful. Demand curve is willingness and ability to pay at different prices. Supply curve is willingness and ability to sell at different prices. Cool. And it kind of represents how much are you willing to give up and how much are you willing to produce. How much are you willing to give up for that quantity? Okay, so what's interesting about where they intersect? Well, where they intersect is when the company is happy to sell this quantity at this price, and the producer and the consumer is also happy to buy that quantity at that price. So everyone's happy and they do a trade, and that's market equilibrium. And that's that. That's happy days, really. Assuming that we do get to market equilibrium, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. Now, if I'm down here, well, the consumer is willing to pay more, and the producer is willing to produce more if only you raise the price. So they're going to move down here, right? Any reduction in the price, they're going to keep moving down the price and keep moving up the quantity, keep kind of compromising if it's a market and if companies are competing with each other to get customers. So they keep on trying to produce a bit more. And if the customers are competing with each other in a way to get the goods, and they're saying, hey, no, I'm happy to buy it for a bit more, whatever. So they're competing with each other, offering more, higher price and higher quantity to the companies. And the companies are offering lower price and more quantity to the consumers. And they keep on competing until they get down there. So if there is a good market where you have a decent number of buyers and a decent number of sellers, then you can get converging into this equilibrium. Also, you're just not really going to get trade out here because the seller's saying, hey, give me this price for that amount, and the buyer's saying, I'm only going to pay this. There's just not going to be much. They're not going to trade this quantity because the buyers just do not want or are not able to pay at that level for that amount. So they're not going to trade up there. If the price is all the way up here, they're going to trade here because buyers are going to stop buying past that point. So that's that. And in the same way that, let's say that there was a price restriction, or whatever, so price had to be here, well, the suppliers aren't going to produce anymore. So if the price is kept artificially low, then the quantity is going to have to be down here. But if there's a competitive market, they're going to keep, the consumers are competing for the goods and they keep offering higher price for more, and the companies keep offering lower price for more, and they keep doing that until they reach this lovely equilibrium. So that is market equilibrium. Once we have supply as willingness and ability to sell, which is hopefully revision at this point, and once we have demand as willingness and ability to buy, and if we have competition, so if we have a competitive market with many buyers and many sellers, then it will converge to equilibrium. Assuming that it's easy to sell and trade. And that is equilibrium summarized in a couple of minutes.